a song for the mountain men, free trappers for Beaver High. They live the freest a man can live in the Rocky Mountain skies. Duffy Jacob, Soroka, and Tom Fitzpatrick, the Sublets and Jim Bridger too. From plains and mountains to trade the fur and shine at the rendezvous. The white men came to this mountainous land. On ponies they did ride, some from the settlements in the east, some are carrying only their pride. From upper Missouri and Yellowstone, from the Platte and the Laramie too. They worked and fought to ply their trade and shine at the rendezvous. There is a feeling within a man if his pony's his only friend, an emptiness howling within his soul as if to carry the wind. But spring comes round the mountains and valleys, the sky is crystal and blue. His heart will warm like the melting snow and shine at the rendezvous. This is a song for the mountain man, free trappers for Beaver Hide. They live the freest a man can live in the Rocky Mountain skies. Duffy Jacob, Soroka, and Tom Fitzpatrick, the Sublets and Jim Bridger too. From plains and mountains to trade the fur and shine at the rendezvous.
Howdy folks, I'm Jason Watts. I want to welcome you to American Reenactors. Today we're here in beautiful Fort Concho in San Angelo, Texas. We'll be visiting with different reenactment groups. We're going to learn about cavalry soldiers, buffalo soldiers, chuck wagons, cowboys, Indians, you name it. We got a little bit for everybody today. So we want to welcome you along. Kick back, relax. Hopefully we'll teach you something you didn't know about the Old West. We're back here at Fort Concho today. I'm with Mr. William Reese, is that right?
William Reese.
William Reese. He's with the Buffalo Soldier Reenactors. And Mr. Reese, tell us a little bit about the Buffalo Soldiers here in San Angelo.
Buffalo Soldiers was one of the first units that came to San Angelo here at Fort Concho during the post-Civil War days during the Indian Wars. First it started with the 9th and 10th Cavalry, which was one of the first two cavalry regiments and 4 infantry regiments.
Okay. I think they're good. We may get interrupted. I think they're going to fire a cannon off here in a minute. Just roll with the punches if it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I've read, done some research of my own. After the Civil War, a lot of ex-slaves found a little bit better opportunity coming out west and joining the army. Treated a little more dignity, a little more respect, and at least had a steady paycheck. Is that all true?
Yes, that's correct. Actually, it was a program that started in 1866.
Okay.
The Congress had to decide what to do with the black soldiers from the Confederate side and the Union side.
Right.
So what they did, they created the 2 cavalry regiments and the 4 infantry regiments. As far as the ex-freed slaves, prisoners, and the soldiers itself. And when they started it, they brought the 9th to Texas, and they took the 10th to Kansas.
Fort Leavenworth.
Fort Leavenworth.
Okay, right.
And it was to help quell the Indians out in the west. So what they did, the soldiers had to deal with the Indians to keep them on the reservation, and they also had to protect the settlers on wagon trains, and to keep squatters from trying to come in and claim land, and also settling on the Indian reservation.
Right.
So they had a multi-functional role.
Now, in this area of Texas, they've been dealing mostly with Comanche Indians, is that true?
Comanche Indians. Yes.
Okay. And there's a line of forts from South Texas all the way up through nearly to Oklahoma. That was our cannon, folks. Okay, I think we're good to keep rolling. Fort Concho was in that line of forts. Now, isn't it generally considered that east of that line was kind of settled, more farmers and ranchers, but once you go west of this line of forts, you're kind of on your own, and that's what the Buffalo Soldiers are protecting?
That was the Buffalo Soldiers' job, was to protect the soldiers, the people.
Okay.
And they were also designated to build railroads, telegraph lines, and plot maps for the West.
You know, people don't understand how important that was, because there was no communication. This was no man's land out here at the time. So building railroads, telegraphs, anything like that, get communication and supplies to and from. We take for granted now having cell phones and supermarkets on every corner. It wasn't like that 1860, 1870 out here in West Texas, was it?
That's so true. That was so true. It was a very remote area. It took days in order to transport goods from one location to another, and if it weren't for the railroad and the telegraph lines, it would have been very difficult to claim the West.
Yeah. Now, when the Army brought the Buffalo Soldiers out here, on top of military training, they try to catch them up on any type of education, reading, writing, and they knew they were kind of behind the curve.
That's correct. Actually, what the problem was during slavery, a lot of the blacks weren't able to read and write. So, as a result of the admitting them to the Army, the chaplain's job and responsibility was to teach the soldier how to read and write. Okay. In order for a chaplain to do this, or in order for a black soldier to become an officer, he had to be a chaplain. Okay. So the chaplain's role was to teach the Buffalo soldiers how to read and write through certain procedures. As far as the procedure, would you like to see one of the procedures?
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
Actually, this was one of the procedures that the soldiers were taught.
This is a deck of playing cards.
This is a deck of playing cards. And what they did, they flashed the card in front of the soldier. As you can see, you had two clubs.
Right.
But actually, the club wasn't what we was wanting. It was just the number 2.
Okay.
They would flash it, and they would ask the soldier how many they would see. The soldier would say 2. They would flash another card. For instance, it's 9. Now, how would they know it's 9? You have 4 on the left, 4 on the right, 1 in the middle, and that made 9. So, with that, they continued on, and they would show a king and a joker, and they would ask which one do they see. So they would identify this as a joker and this as the king, and they would ask them how would they know this is the king. They would say because the king has a crown. Right. So actually, they taught the Buffalo Soldiers how to remember before they taught them how to read and write.
Yeah. That's what we're doing.
And as far as the dice itself wasn't just used for gambling. It was also used to teach them. Actually, we had the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Right.
We had the 3 R's. And the dice, of course, you had several digits on each dice. You can equal up to at least 12. So it would teach them how to do their arithmetic with the dice.
Who knew? Multifunctional.
Yes.
Okay, now tell me about this big stick here. What do we got here?
Exactly. This stick here, this is what the Indians use to pray for rain.
Y'all hear that?
It's called an Indian rain stick. Okay.
Listen, isn't that beautiful? Sounds like a rainstorm.
I'm sure we might not want to do it too much. We might get some rain.
I'll tell you what, the way things have been, you better shake that stick.
So everything that the Indians used, they would also place it on some type of cloth. The Indians respected everything they had, and they would place it. If you see it, that's what they were doing. They would place nothing on bare ground. It would be on some type of mat or cloth blanket.
Now, speaking of the Indians, is it true that Buffalo Soldiers got their name from the Indians, or the nickname they picked up from the Indians?
That's correct. When the Buffalo Soldiers came west, it was the first time that they've seen a black soldier, and they were so unique, and when they had to deal with them, it was their mean fighting spirit and their dark skin of the black soldier and the dark tan on the buffalo reminded the Indians of the buffalo that was reincarnated. Because when the white man came to kill off all the buffalo, they disappeared. But the hair between the horn and their eyes was a sacred part of the buffalo, and they said that reminded them that of a buffalo, and it was their dark curly hair of the black soldiers that said looked like a buffalo.
So it was really out of respect. It wasn't.
It was out of respect, and they liked that, and they took it out of respect.
Okay.
Do I look like a buffalo to you, sir?
Nope. You look like a soldier. Well, Mr. William Reese, I thank you for your time, sir. You guys are doing great work out here.
Thank you.
Keep it up for the kids. They need to know this stuff. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Okay, real quick, we were passing by and I noticed Melanie here, and looks like Melanie's just sitting here minding her own business, wearing a dress, but we'll reveal a little secret. She's keeping the dogs warm, folks. You got that? See, these clothes are multifunctional. They weren't just for style. Are these your dogs?
Yes.
Are they cold natured?
No, they're scared.
Like idiots like me coming up here want to take pictures of them?
No, the cannons.
Cannons, asking. Okay. Well, no, thank you for your time. I had to stop by and talk to you when I saw those two cool. Thanks.
Hope y'all enjoy.